Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, his insights into the unconscious mind and self-discovery have captivated generations. Jung's work delves into the essence of humanity, exploring our complexities and contradictions. He proposed groundbreaking theories, challenging us to look inward. Life begins at 40, Jung declared, suggesting a profound shift in our understanding of aging. He believed 40 marks a crucial turning point, transitioning from outward pursuits to introspective exploration. Youth is for exploration and identity formation, but often overshadows our inner world. At 40, external pressures ease, allowing us to reconnect with our true selves. Our careers and families have taken shape, and we have accumulated a wealth of experiences. At midlife, a shift occurs within us, a yearning to connect with our authentic selves. This inward journey, often triggered by disillusionment, marks the beginning of individuation. Individuation is the process of becoming a whole, integrated being, essential for psychological wholeness. Midlife provides fertile ground for this inner work, allowing us to redefine our values and priorities. At 40, we enter a new phase of psychological development. The first half of life often leads to the suppression of certain aspects of our personality, known as the shadow. The shadow contains both positive and negative aspects, often repressed due to shame or fear. As we enter midlife, the energy of the shadow asserts itself, urging us to integrate these repressed aspects. This integration is essential for individuation, leading to greater self-awareness and acceptance. By confronting and accepting our shadow selves, we become more whole and complete individuals. We develop greater compassion and acceptance for ourselves and others. Jung believed the unconscious mind shapes our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. He saw it as a wellspring of creativity, wisdom, and potential. Accessing the unconscious requires confronting our fears and challenging our beliefs. Dreams offer symbolic messages from the unconscious, providing valuable insights. Active imagination, a technique developed by Jung, involves engaging with our imagination in a conscious and directed way. Midlife is a passage to be embraced, a time of profound transformation. It leads to greater self-awareness, a more fulfilling life, and a deeper connection to ourselves and others. Challenges in midlife propel us along our individuation journeys, offering opportunities for growth. The key to navigating midlife is courage, curiosity, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. It is a time to question everything and explore new ways of being in the world. Jung considered dreams a direct line to the unconscious, speaking in a symbolic language. He encouraged keeping dream journals to uncover the messages within dream imagery. Dreams serve a compensatory function, bringing neglected aspects of ourselves to our attention. By paying attention to our dreams, we gain insights into our shadow selves and the path to greater wholeness. At 40, the curtain rises on a new act in the human drama. The external pursuits of youth begin to lose their luster, and a quiet restlessness stirs within. This questioning is the catalyst for a profound journey of self-discovery. Jung saw this period as a time when our inner world beckons with renewed urgency. We yearn for authenticity, for a life that reflects our deepest values and aspirations. The journey inward requires courage to confront our shadows and acknowledge our true selves. It demands honesty and compassion, leading to a more complete and authentic self. Unveiling the authentic self is a gradual process, like peeling back the layers of an onion. Jung believed each of us has a unique and valuable contribution to make to the world. Discovering this calling requires questioning our assumptions and listening to our hearts. What brings us joy? What makes us feel truly alive? These questions guide us towards our authentic path. The key is to approach this exploration with an open mind and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Jung offered tools for navigating the inner world, such as dream work and active imagination. Dreams provide symbolic messages from the unconscious, offering valuable insights. Active imagination involves engaging with our imagination in a conscious and directed way. Engaging with creativity taps into a deeper part of ourselves, a place of intuition and inspiration. These tools help us access the wisdom of the unconscious and integrate it into our conscious lives. Jung believed our psyches are populated by archetypes, universal patterns of energy and behavior. Understanding these archetypes provides valuable insights into our psychological makeup. Recognizing archetypal patterns helps us understand our strengths, weaknesses, and motivations. Midlife is an ideal time to explore archetypes, gaining a deeper appreciation for the human psyche. By understanding these patterns, we can live more consciously and authentically. After 40, we begin our journey into the depths of ourselves, a confrontation with the full spectrum of our being, the light and the shadow. Jung believed true wholeness comes from integrating our shadow sides into our conscious awareness. The shadow contains our unlived potential, repressed desires, and hidden strengths. Imagine a dance floor dimly lit where shadows stretch and contract with every move. The spotlight shines on our conscious personality, but the shadow self dances in the periphery. To deny its presence is to remain incomplete. Jung urges us to integrate this energy into the fullness of our being. True wholeness lies in embracing the totality of our being. Emotions, often viewed as unruly and inconvenient, are, in Jungian psychology, revered as messengers from the depths of our being. They are the language of the soul, communicating the state of our inner world, our needs, desires, and wounds. To ignore or suppress them is to silence the very voice that guides us towards wholeness. Just as a physical symptom can alert us to an underlying illness, emotional distress often signals an imbalance within the psyche. Anger, for example, might point towards unmet needs or the violation of our boundaries. Sadness may be a sign of loss or a need for deeper connection. Fear often arises when we are clinging to old patterns that no longer serve us, urging us to step into the unknown. Jung believed that emotions carry a transformative power, a potential for healing and growth. When we allow ourselves to fully experience our emotions without judgment or resistance, we unlock the wisdom they hold. This doesn't mean we become slaves to our feelings, but rather that we learn to listen to their messages and respond with compassion and understanding. Imagine a child who falls and scrapes their knee. Our instinct is not to scold them for crying, but to offer comfort and tend to their wounds. Similarly, when we approach our own emotional distress with the same gentleness and care, we create space for healing and integration. Central to Jungian thought is the concept of enantiodromia, the tendency for things to turn into their opposites. Just as a pendulum swings from one extreme to the other, so too do our experiences oscillate between polarities: joy and sorrow, love and loss, light and shadow. Jung believed that true psychological health lies not in striving for a static state of perfection, but in embracing the dynamic interplay of these opposites. Life, he argued, is a dance between these polarities, a constant process of balancing and integrating seemingly contradictory forces within ourselves. This integration of opposites is not about eliminating one side in favor of the other, but about finding a harmonious balance between them. It is about recognizing that our strengths and weaknesses, our virtues and flaws, are all part of the fabric of our being. For example, a person who is highly analytical and rational might benefit from cultivating their intuitive and creative side. Someone who is deeply empathetic and compassionate might need to develop stronger boundaries to avoid being overwhelmed by the emotions of others. The key is to strive for a dynamic equilibrium, a state of wholeness that encompasses the full spectrum of our humanity. Jung often used the metaphor of alchemy to describe the process of psychological transformation. Just as alchemists sought to transmute base metals into gold, so too can we transform our raw, unprocessed emotions into wisdom, compassion, and greater self-awareness. This alchemical process begins with the willingness to face our shadows, to acknowledge the parts of ourselves we'd rather keep hidden. It requires courage to delve into the depths of our being, to explore the roots of our emotional patterns, and to confront the beliefs and experiences that have shaped our responses to the world. Through this process of introspection and integration, we begin to release the charge from old wounds, to heal the fragmented parts of ourselves, and to emerge with a greater sense of wholeness and self-acceptance. This is not a linear process, but rather a spiral journey, with each cycle bringing us closer to the gold within. Life begins at 40, not as a destination, but as a launching pad for a profound journey of self-discovery and emotional alchemy. It is an invitation to embrace the fullness of our being, the light and the shadow, the conscious and the unconscious, and to step into the second half of life with greater wisdom, compassion, and authenticity. Life, as Jung saw it, is a hero's journey, not in the sense of grand external conquests, but in the courage it takes to confront our inner demons, to integrate the fragmented parts of ourselves, and to emerge with greater wisdom and authenticity. The first half of life sets the stage for this inward journey. We venture out, seeking adventure and purpose. We battle dragons and collect scars along the way. But at 40, the hero senses a shift, a yearning for something more. This is the call to return home, not to a physical place, but to the deepest part of ourselves. It's a journey fraught with challenges, requiring us to face our shadows, to confront the fears and insecurities we've kept hidden. Yet, this inward descent is a pilgrimage towards the light within. In accepting our flaws, we discover our true strength. Imagine your inner world as a garden. In the first half of life, we may have been so busy planting seeds, tending to the demands of our careers, relationships, and societal expectations, that we neglected to cultivate the soil, to pull the weeds that threaten to choke the growth of our authentic selves. At 40, we have the opportunity to become master gardeners of our souls. This requires a shift in focus, from external achievements to the cultivation of inner peace, wisdom, and self-acceptance. Just as a gardener tends to their plants with care and attention, so too must we nurture our inner world with mindfulness, compassion, and a willingness to do the work of growth. This cultivation involves creating space for stillness, for introspection and reflection. It might involve practices like meditation, journaling, or spending time in nature. Activities that allow us to connect with our inner wisdom and listen to the whispers of our souls. It also requires us to become aware of the thoughts we allow to take root in our minds, the beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world. Are we nurturing thoughts of self-doubt, fear, or limitation? Or are we planting seeds of self-compassion, courage, and possibility? Jung believed that the unconscious mind communicates to us through symbols, images and archetypes that appear in our dreams, fantasies and daydreams. He developed a technique called active imagination as a way to consciously dialogue with these unconscious contents, to access their wisdom and integrate them into our conscious awareness. Active imagination is like entering a waking dream state, a realm where the boundaries between the conscious and unconscious blur, and the language of symbols and metaphors takes center stage. It's a process of engaging with our imagination in a playful, curious and non-judgmental way, allowing images to arise spontaneously and interacting with them as we would with figures in a dream. We might imagine ourselves walking through a forest, encountering different characters or animals along the way, each representing aspects of ourselves or our experiences. We might engage in dialogue with these figures, asking questions, listening to their responses, and allowing the experience to unfold organically. The key is to approach this process with a sense of curiosity and openness, without trying to force or censor the images that arise. As we engage with these unconscious contents, we begin to understand their meaning and significance in our lives, and we gain valuable insights into our own psychological makeup. Life begins at 40, not with a bang, but with a quiet whisper from within. A call to align our outer lives with the truths we've discovered in the depths of our being. It's an invitation to live with greater intentionality, to make choices that reflect our values, and to pursue work that brings us joy and a sense of purpose. This alignment often requires us to make changes, to let go of old patterns, relationships, or careers that no longer serve our growth. It may involve taking risks, stepping outside of our comfort zones, and embracing the unknown with courage and a sense of adventure. Living in alignment is not about achieving a state of perfect balance or eliminating all challenges from our lives. It's about showing up authentically each day, making choices that are consistent with our values, and trusting that we are exactly where we need to be on our unique journeys. It's about recognizing that life is a process of continuous growth and evolution, and that each experience, both joyful and challenging, offers an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become more fully ourselves. As we navigate the second half of life with greater self-awareness, compassion, and a commitment to living in alignment with our true north, we step into the fullness of our potential and embrace the richness and depth that life has to offer. As we stand on the precipice of midlife, a vast and uncharted landscape stretches before us. The familiar landmarks of youth, the pursuit of status, the security of well-worn paths may fade into the distance, replaced by a yearning for something more, a deeper meaning that resonates with the wisdom we've gathered along the way. This, Jung assures us, is not a cause for despair, but rather an invitation to embark on the most transformative journey of all, the journey inward. Life, in its infinite wisdom, rarely unfolds in a straight line. There will be detours, unexpected turns, and moments when we find ourselves at a crossroads, uncertain of which path to choose. But it is in these moments of uncertainty, Jung believed, that our greatest growth occurs. When we surrender to the unknown, when we embrace the messy, imperfect process of becoming, we open ourselves to the possibility of discovering who we truly are, beyond the roles we play and the masks we wear. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It requires courage to confront our shadows, to acknowledge the parts of ourselves we've tried to keep hidden, and to embrace the full spectrum of our being, the light and the dark, the strengths and the vulnerabilities. Midlife, often perceived as a time of crisis, is, in Jungian terms, a time for authenticity. It's an opportunity to shed the skins that no longer fit, to release the need to please others at the expense of our own well-being, and to step into the fullness of who we are, wrinkles, scars, and all. This doesn't mean abandoning our responsibilities or becoming self-absorbed hermits. Rather, it's about bringing our authentic selves to all aspects of our lives, to our relationships, our work, and our communities. It's about expressing our creativity, sharing our wisdom, and living with a sense of purpose that emanates from the depths of our being. Authenticity is not a destination, but a continuous process of becoming. It requires us to be present to our experiences, to listen to the whispers of our hearts, and to make choices that align with our values, even when those choices challenge the status quo or disrupt the expectations of others. Life begins at 40, not as a magical transformation, but as an awakening to the vast potential that lies dormant within us, waiting to be unleashed. It's the beginning of life's second act, a time for reinvention, for embracing new passions, and for living with a sense of purpose that transcends the limitations we may have imposed upon ourselves in the past. Imagine a playwright sitting down to write their magnum opus, drawing upon a lifetime of experiences, observations, and the wisdom gleaned from both triumphs and failures. This is the opportunity that midlife presents to craft a second act that is richer, more meaningful, and more aligned with our authentic selves than anything we could have imagined in our younger years. This second act may involve a career change, a move to a new city, or a deepening of our commitment to our passions and relationships. It may involve taking risks, stepping outside of our comfort zones, and embracing the unknown with a sense of adventure that belies our years. We hope you enjoyed our video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel.